Good to be back in Bible study. Amen. And we're going to try to learn the more of the word. Amen. And we want to learn how to live this thing. A quick reminder. Sorry, I had to pick that up. Quick reminder. If you have questions that you'd like for us to discuss, I encourage you to send that to me. I'm not sure if we'll have it on the screen, but I encourage you to send that to us at 901-347-2042. Again, 901-347-2042. Encourage you to send that in so that we can discuss these and look through them together. And then also, give me a little time to research it. Don't think it's going to happen overnight. But if you give me a few minutes, a few weeks or so, we should be able to start addressing these questions. There's no question that's too simple or too complicated. Not that I know everything, but we're researching. We'll figure it out. Amen. We want to be interactive in our studies, so we want to work together and make sure that we're on the same page with our studies of the Scripture. I'm going to bring this up to me just a little bit more. Amen. And so we've got a few questions that have been presented over the last few weeks, and so we're going to look at a few. I've got a little torn as to which way I'd like to go. I thought I'd figured it out last night. But I've discovered a few things that I kind of want to check out and think about, and I think that it's important that we want to know how to live this thing. We shout and we dance on Sunday mornings, amen. We do. We have a good time. We have a charismatic service, and there's nothing wrong with that, amen. But if you just do that, you have no idea how to live this thing, and we need to grow. And one thing that I'm passionate about and I'm really, really concerned about is the growth of the people of God. I'm concerned about people that just either do church because they were raised to do church, or people that do church and have no idea what they're actually doing. And notice what I said, do church. And if you're doing church, that's all you're doing is doing church. You're not affecting anything. You're not living anything. You don't even understand who the church really is and the purpose behind the ministry that's been assigned to you. So we want to study the word so that we're prepared to address that and to understand that and to walk in wisdom every day. Amen. We don't just, live saved every blue moon. We don't just live saved on Sunday. Amen. But we want to live saved every day. And so we're going into the word, and I apologize for some of the hiccups and delays. We're going to get better. Amen. With that, but we want to start on time so that I can get out on time. Amen. But I think tonight I may have to tackle a few of them because I still haven't figured out which one. So I may have to tackle a few. So I'm going to try to give you scriptures as early as I can. Just jot them down, and then we'll go to them, okay? Had some interesting ones come in. I want to deal with one that I think is I think it's a good one for us to start with. And I'm probably not going to read them all. Let's just do that. We'll go to Exodus chapter 20. Let's start there. Exodus chapter 20. And now this will be relatively familiar. Chapter 20. We're going to read verse 1 through 17. Chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. Amen. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. Let's put that up for us tonight. And we're going to start here. It says, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Okay? Sound familiar? The Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments. There's been movies about it. There's been so many things. And you said the 10 Commandments in 17 verses. Yes. 10 Commandments in 17 verses. The 10 Commandments. What book are we reading that from again? Exodus. Interesting. Interesting. Who is the author of the book of Exodus? Say it loud. The cameras can't pick that up. Moses. Moses is the author of the book of Exodus. He's the author of what? Yeah, but the first 5 books, right? The Pentateuch. The first 5 books. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, right? Okay? Moses wrote them. Exodus is the book we're reading them out of. What faith was Moses? Right. Moses was Jewish. Did Moses know about Jesus? Did he know about Jesus? So did he know about Jesus? He did not. No. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm really, I promise. I'm straightforward asking. I don't want y'all to think I'm trying to trick you. I'm not. He didn't know about Jesus. He knew about God. Okay. He didn't know about Jesus. He just knew about God. So we got who Moses was. We got the author. We got around, a general understanding of when these were given. Why were they given? Do we know? Anybody remember the story of why? A couple of chapters back, what happened? Somebody speak up for me. Hold on. Somebody come to the mic and talk, because ain't no way they're going to hear you at home. Y'all don't be nervous. Come on up. Talk to me. Come to the microphone and say it. I want to know what the people, we studying the Bible tonight, remember? We studying the Bible. And let's walk the walls, not the center aisle when we walk. Amen. So we can make sure that the camera's not interrupted. I believe that microphone is on. It's not. Go ahead and turn it on for us, if you would, missionary. Now, somebody, all I want to know is, just real quick, why do we have the 10 Commandments? Why did God send the 10 Commandments?
Because God called him onto the mountain and gave him the Ten Commandments.
No, that's what God did. Why did God give them the Ten Commandments?
Because for the children of Israel to follow them.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Let's try somebody else. That's not why God gave the Ten Commandments. Come on, give it a whirl. Come on, give it a whirl. That's what God did, but why do we have the Ten Commandments?
Because the people started to worship, they were worshiping idol gods.
Mm-hmm.
They were worshiping idol gods,
Go the other way.
and they started to do what they wanted to do instead of listening to God. And so God, I guess he had to lay down some ground rules for the people, because they had a golden calf. They was just making all kinds of things and doing it's like when Moses went up to the mount, they had a whole party. So he knew he had to lay the groundwork down.
Great. That's what I was looking for. I believe that, yes, that's what God did. What you said was true. It's what he did. But the answer to the question was why. When we're looking for the root cause, why do we have them? We have them because the people of God, once again, did their own thing, their own way. So he sent the commandments. He already had a covenant with them, but he sent the commandments. Right, but why did God send the commandments? It wasn't because Moses saw them cutting up. It's because God sees and knows everything. That may be the issue. Yeah, let's turn, that's better. So, because the children of Israel, and don't get bored with me, I know it's hard to follow if you're watching live because it's kind of quiet and a whole bunch of gaps. But just stay with me, we're going to get better. The children of Israel had gotten so far off, had done some things so crazy, and God already knew it, so he sent the Ten Commandments to cover and to correct them, not to cover them, but to correct them. Is it wise, or even, before we even go to today's time, in the time of the Old Testament, was there anything else that the children to that same body of people? The question I'm answering